فأنظرتكم نارا تلظى لا يصلاها إلا الأشقى الذي كذب وتولى وسيجنبها الأتقى الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى وما لأحد عنده من نعمة تجزى إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى ولسوف يرضى صدق الله العظيم. ما شاء الله.
Jazakallah Muhammad, mashallah. Please recite a loud salawat. I'll request the sisters to please come and join us. Before I request Maulana to address us, so please come in the main hall. Your area has been cleared. In the meantime, I'll request you to please recite Dua Shifa, Amma Yujib 5 times, so all the Mu'mineen Mu'minat who are sick and all the Mu'mineen Mu'minat who are under stress around the globe, and especially Dua Shifa for a request for Nisa Alam, a 21-year-old who suffered head injury and is in the coma. So please include her also in your Dua Shifa. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Amma yujibul mustarra iza da'u yakshifu su. 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 I request the sisters, we are waiting for them to come and join us, and unless you come here, I'm not going to request Maulana to address us. So please come as soon as possible. In the meantime, I'll request you to recite Alham once, 3 times Surah Ikhlas for Isale Sawab of all the Marumeen, including the Marumeens. Names are written on monument of Zahra, your own Marumeen, and for the Marumeens for whom there is no one to say Fatiha. And tonight's sponsors Marumeen, and sponsor of the Tabarruk as brother Khalili. So please recite a loud salawat for his Siyatu Salavati. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. And tonight's sponsors Marumeen, Marhum Iftikhar Ali Khan, Marhum Mohsen Khalili. Bismillah. We are still waiting for the sisters to join us in the main hall. And I'll request the brothers who are in the kitchen, so please keep the voice a little low. And I'll request Maulana Sayyid Hadi Yasin to please address us on this blessed Shab-e Juma, inshallah. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين ولعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this great tawfiq and favor. Alhamdulillah, once again we're all together. Thursday night Eve of Friday. May Allah inshallah make this time best time of this week and so far in our life, inshallah, full of blessings and rahmat from Him, His side, inshallah. We were talking about the topic of justice and the importance of this topic in our life, which unfortunately not that often we heard about this topic. It's a topic that it goes back to beginning of the creation of human beings and insan that needed justice in his life and of course in the society. Many scientists, many psychologists, many sociologists, many people try to define their own version of justice. But it looks like whoever individually they want to define justice, they go and define it based on their own personal interest or region interest or group of people's interest. And we see that this country might be against the justice definition of justice of another country. This society might go against the definition of justice from another country, another society, right? So we see that the need that then we cannot ask insan, human being, to define ultimate version of justice for us. We need an ultimate, comprehensive justice, definition of justice to come to us from our Creator to teach us what is justice. Because He's the only one who is not biased. Every single of us, we're biased. In one society, you say justice is total freedom, absolute freedom, whatever they want to do. So another society, country, religion, see this against it. We don't want absolute freedom. You know what I mean? People do whatever they want to do. And we said the importance of this topic because, again, the second pillar and principle of our madhab is what, and our deen is what? Is justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Idalah. So it shows how important that even when we want to introduce Allah and when we want to be a Muslim, we have to, after Tawheed, as one of the pillars of our mazhab, Shia is what? Idalat of Allah. And this God that you want to believe in, His Tawheed, is a just God, right? He doesn't violate the rights of others. That's how important. And we mentioned, when He has an attribute, we need to practice that attribute as well. 129 verses of Quran is about this. 290 is about injustice. 1 out of 10 surah of Quran is talking directly or indirectly about justice, the topic of justice, right? It shows how important it keeps being repeated in Quran. Quran says when you judge, you should do so with justice. God loves those who are just. And we see that how much Islam is emphasizing on this topic. So we mentioned that we have two different types of justice. One, it goes back to divine justice, which belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which, follow me, it goes to two different sections. One is takwini, is generative justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second is legislative, tashri'i, right? Takwini means Allah in His creation and creating the world, He observed justice. Look at yourself. as we mentioned, 2 eyes, mashallah, 2 ears, everything in the right place. This is justice. We have the nature, we have nights and days. Imagine if you didn't have nights, you have to be always awake, right? Imagine something in your body was not its own place. It's not, but Allah created, as it says, وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. He wanted the soul and how it was integrated. Everything is its own place. الَّذِي خَلَقَكَ فَسَوَّاكَ فَعَدَلَكَ. He creates, He forms symmetry, and then He gave the right proportion to it. So He, in His creation, He observed ibadah. Look how many food, how many vegetables, everything you need, you find it in the nature. Subhanallah. Recently I do my research, I find it. Any chemical medicines that you find that they're telling you have to take, we have a good ingredient that can help you for that purpose in the society, in the nature. In the nature. Someone was saying that he had high cholesterol and triglyceride. High. This is taking medicinal. This is one of the herbalists, another country, told him that, take cinnamon every day in the morning, half an hour before you eat breakfast. 1 spoon of that, 2 spoons of honey with warm water. I trust this person. It said after 20 or 40 days, something like that, at least 200 whatever number came down. Just with the, and they call it the medicine of the century. Everything in this society, in the nature, Allah put it there. So we might don't know, we might just, it's easier to go to the pharmacy and take it and we stay with the side effects as well. So that's about Allah when it comes to the idalat of Allah that He observed, in the nature. If you see anything that is going out of justice, is not because of Allah, it's because of the human beings, what they do in this dunya. The pollution that we create, the situation that we provide for ourselves. In the nature, you see that anywhere that human beings, they didn't touch, everything is virgin and beautiful and perfect. The animals are happy, right? Anywhere that human beings entered, the forests are destroyed, the animals are suffering, we put animals in the zoo, and then we see animal rights, right? It's very interesting. We put animals in the zoo, in the cage, we look at them, oh my God, make sure that we have to observe, We sometimes imprison animals in our houses, and this is animal justice or something. Well, we have to see what is the definition of justice again, right? What we have to do. Anywhere we don't enter, it's fine. Even in Africa, right now the safaris are going and destroying the life of animals just because some people are going to see them and take pictures of them. Do you like some people come to your house, take pictures of you because you look different? You know what I mean? So that's why we have to look at this, and then what is the definition? Allah created everything. Any pollution, any issue, any diseases are happening because of us. We are doing it mostly, right? We're not observing. How come before people were, Prophet Nuh, he's living 950 years and he's just doing a da'wah, over 1,000 years he's living in this dunya. That's the capacity of your body as human being. You can live a long time. We are limiting ourselves based on the pollution, lifestyle, the food, the processed food that we eat. We are limiting it, right? How come in some villages you see that people live over 100 years? In the cities they live half of that, right? So it's us that we're creating this situation. And then we complain to Allah, why you're doing this? The most innocent one is Allah, because you can't find someone else is Allah just, The second was about human beings justice, us and sons justice, humans justice, which is in 2 different sections again. One, individual justice. Second, who knows? What? Social, exactly. Social justice, right? 2 aspects of it. So I need this, again, this definition, so this division, so you know what we're going to do, inshallah. So, what is important is that, I'm going to ask you this question. What do you think is, we talked about individual justice in last week a little bit. What do you think is the purpose of social justice? Before we go there, can someone define for me what is social justice? Or we're living in Bay Area, all educated, mashallah, right? Let's see what we can do. What is social justice? That if something goes out of, place, all of us will start complaining, "Wow, ya Allah, what is not this?" Right? What is social justice? Equal opportunity for everyone. Is it justice? Equality is justice? So let me tell you what. 2 cups, 2 containers, each 1 liter, 1 liter capacity, right? If I put equality, do I have to, if this 1 liter, right? If the other one is half a liter. If I put, or gallon, whatever it was. If I put 2 gallons, 1 gallon in one, 1 gallon in the other one, although the capacity is half a gallon, is it justice? It's equality, right? Half a gallon for this one, 1 gallon for this one, 1 gallon for this one, although this one's capacity is half a gallon. So equality is not justice all the time. That's what is a wrong concept of the non-religious Western society. They talk about what? Equality. The equality is not necessarily justice. It can be among human beings, it can be among other creatures. Equality is not justice all the time. So what is social justice?
Equitable
What?
equitable distribution of responsibilities and rights.
What do you mean? Can you explain?
So if my capacity is that I can only lift 50 pounds and somebody else can lift 100 pounds, then for me the bar is 50 pounds, but for that other person 100 pounds. So you have to look at the capacity of what an individual can perform and then assign responsibilities accordingly.
Okay. Who else? What is social justice?
Some of the basic rights are available to everyone.
Basic rights. What are basic rights?
Shelter, food, medicine.
Okay. So if you take care of that, everything is good, social justice? So you give food to everyone. So let's have comprehensive definition, right? It's very interesting because many people, politicians, comes and just promise this one. Equal food, equal opportunity, equal job, everything perfect, you're gonna have job. But we see that prophets come, they don't start with this. They don't even talk about this at all, right? They talk about something else. So what is social justice? You never see prophet comes and he is dealing with the poorest group of society at that time, slaves and others. He never even promised one single promise that if you follow me, you can have food in your stomach. If you follow me, we're going to give you position. Never. Right? So what is social justice?
Safety to practice the religion.
Safety to practice?
Your religion.
What is the purpose of that? For what?
Because you feel safe to practice your religion.
Okay. Do you need the society to do that? What if it's not safe?
That's where social justice comes.
So that's the only one.
One of religion.
So let's see what.
Equal application of law for everyone.
Equal what?
Application of law, applicability of the law.
Okay. Any other definition?
Having a balanced life.
Having a balanced life. Okay. So let's move forward. Where do you get social justice?
From the society.
From where?
The laws are made.
Laws. Okay. No, I'm talking about the ultimate. Where do we get the social justice from?
It's getting from the society, it's from me and you. And from
What do you mean by me and you?
the group of the people or the society or the...
Ahsan. We said individual justice is defined, human justice defined as individual and social justice, right? You know who creates social justice? Human beings. You and me. The way that you observe justice in the house, you train group of people, your children, that would legislate or would defend justice or define justice for you in the society. Okay? So if you see a society that there is a problem based on divine problem or something in the definition of justice, it comes from the families, right? From the definition of justice from parents. If you see a community has issue because parents and families and houses having issues, right? If you see that a society have been targeted, the society is not targeted. What is targeted? People's houses are targeted. Your parenting are targeted. So they are going to force you to accept and believe in a wrong version in a society that group of people want you to practice in the house. I'm putting it in one general concept. I hope you get it, right? So 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that was not okay, but now you have been forced to accept a concept. Why? Because we are telling you, group of people. And we have media, we have everything, so you have to accept it. Okay? So, but we have to see that, no, social justice, actually, according to Islam as well, it's you who you would define the justice. Where do you get the best definition of justice? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Religion. Again, not individual definition of justice. Religion, the origin of religion by itself, right? Otherwise it goes to other sects and Wahhabism and others, they have their own version of definition of justice as well. So it starts from house. Start from the house that if I want to buy a doll for my daughter, all of them are white. All of them are, skinny. All of them are this way and that way, right? This is injustice. This is discrimination. Why my daughter doesn't have a different skin color, the doll? So it started from the house. Because when I'm driving, I say something bad to other people because, oh, look who's driving from this country. Look at the nationality there. And my daughter is sitting and my son is sitting and they're listening to this, right? So these people are having issue, they're having issue, that is issue, and only us were good. Right? And then when she's going to get married, guess what? Only from my city, with the same dialogue, with the same accent, right? And it goes on and more, so I don't want to go to the details. So what is discrimination? Astaghfirullah, us discrimination? No. But when he's asking for my daughter, then you see discrimination. So, we're good. Islam says as well to have to find a kuf. Means what? Someone who is similar to you. Right? But this is not the whole factor. Some people are, ignoring the major factors in terms of, let's say, religion, in terms of practicing religion, in terms of other important things. Just if he is talking the way that I talk, the same language, so that's good, let's go. So that's what we have to see. Who is practicing justice, or are we practicing justice? And then last week we mentioned about our behavior. Are we observing justice in the society or not? Right? Are we observing justice in the society? In our small society, which is what? Our house. Are we observing justice in our society? Which is first society, which is house. Then to expect the family, the community as a community, Muslim community. And then expect the bigger society. No, we mostly are falling asleep. Some other people are defining justice for our children. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam says, he says, be so quick and fast in training and teaching your children about our ahadith, our traditions, the ahkam of Islam and our traditions, our ma'arif. Teach them about Islam. Before murja'a comes, before deviated group comes, and take your children away from you. Now you realize nowadays, what does it mean? Before other groups come and justifies something horrible for your children, then they come to you and says, that's fine, they're all nice. Before they come and say anything to brainwash your children, you have to be careful and you have to think about that. Not just because they come to Sunday school, not just because at night, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you go home, by the time you eat, and you refresh yourself, it's going to be 9 or 10, and say, hi Baba, how are you doing? Everything's good? Inshallah, let's go to sleep. It doesn't work this way, sir. You have to spend time to train your children. Number one responsibility that you have with your children is not their food necessarily, it's their training. One of the rights of your children, Islamic rights that you study at the Day of Judgment, is that you teach me Quran. You teach me about. But nowadays is what? Food. Strawberry. If you have a strawberry, you're good, mashallah, right? Ice cream? Alhamdulillah, we have ice cream as well. What else? Rice, we have two.
Biryani.
Biryani, of course. Phone, yes, inshallah, we'll get their phone as well. What else? Who's training them? Mom. Mom says that. Then both, they said school. Both are says we're paying the center, so center should. Right? You were supposed to. This is out of justice that you're not. And then you train group of injustice people, unjust people, and they're practicing justice, and what's going to happen? as Imam says, others are going to be fast and take them away from you. And then they come to my office and they start crying. Parents, please help. Because I love to help, and it looks like it's a little bit late. It's a little late. Imam says, Fasro, you have to be fast, quick. Imagine at that time it was not as progress as today. Group of Murja or Dini, they had to come have a lecture or something. Right now with these devices, they're listening everything and hearing. It's much more difficult nowadays. So, tell me, what is the purpose of having social justice according to? So we said that. What is social justice? We have to come to individual practices, and then tell me what is the purpose of justice, social justice according to Islam. Why do we need social justice? Again, many of you guys, when I said social justice, first you went to physical aspects of society, right? Safety, food, other things, equality, right? What if we have a society that none of these things are there, but we have group of people? These are important, by the way. We're not saying that it shouldn't be there, right? But this is our priorities, or the priority should be something else. So what is the ultimate purpose of having social justice?
Good community.
What is a good community?
Everything is in order. No one is stealing someone else's right.
Again, this is physical,
Yeah.
right? No one steals from someone else. No one hurts someone else. We don't need a present. It's all about our daily worldly life, right? Which are important. But what is the priority? What is the purpose? So do you think Allah created the whole world and He put everything in order? And based on justice, just me and you live in a safe society and eat and everyone have food and safety. This is not the purpose of it. Right? Of course, it's because of the cost of this world, how much it costs to be function and run. So we know that this is not the reason Allah functions. So what is the purpose behind social justice?
So we can all be better. So we can all practice so I'm looking for the right word. So we can all obey Allah and do the ibadat that is expected of us.
You're getting close. What else?
Physical and spiritual needs are met.
Okay.
But spiritual.
What is it?
Purity, spiritual purity.
Spiritual purity. Okay. What else? Well, how come society bring purity to you?
Announce his name that he's trying to.
That's good. No, that is good. But how can society bring you the purity?
Because equality, and to realize that, to understand all the aspects of the way life.
Okay.
When there's harmony in the society, you are able to exercise your spiritual.
What is harmony in the society?
People
You're using a nice word, so I'll ask you what it is.
Balance and equilibrium in society.
What is it?
So,
What do you mean by equilibrium?
equilibrium is creating a balance within that not anyone has excess of anything that they do not need. And it could be, like you said, physical, but at the same time that automatically translates into being non-material, because you are taking away from something you like and passing it on
Okay.
and bringing God's purpose in front of you.
Good. What else? Equal. We said equality is not necessarily justice, right? So what are these opportunities for? What are these opportunities? So Allah created the whole world and He put all this effort here, if you can put it this way. So for us to what? Just to have a very just and beautiful, nice society?
Bring human being closer to Allah.
Topic is
Very close. But how? Tell me how.
To climb Maslow's hierarchy.
To create a system so everyone can worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a way that's supposed to.
Very close. Look.
Peace of
if
mind.
you know that
If you're living in a society where you know that other people have rights over you, you have rights over them, you're trying to fulfill their rights, then that ultimately can lead to a think that there might be somebody else who created you and he also has rights over you. If you are fulfilling human rights, are you fulfilling the rights of your creator as well?
Are you asking me?
No. I'm done.
This was a comment. Well, let me put it this way. I'm getting somewhere very important, super important, okay? Follow me. This is the reason behind that we're breathing. I can put it this way. The way that you need physical hygiene, I'm going to put it this way. Mental hygiene, right? You need a social hygiene as well. You need a clean society, a perfect society that will be provided for you, a healthy social environment, which will be provided for the residents of that society in order to practice to reach salvation. A healthy society, clean society, that would help the residents to have the opportunity to practice to reach salvation. That means the purpose of creation, being a human being, right? Then you can say, who cannot find this society at all? Because each society have their own issue. Do you have any society that can provide this? With the full meanings. With the full meanings of the opportunity for people to practice to reach salvation. Do you find the perfect society? We can have societies better than other societies. At least in Islamic environment, it's better than non-Islamic environment. But still there are some issues you can find, right?
Saying clean society, so Islamic environment is not.
We're not talking about the physical thing. We're healthy, let's put it this way. Healthy is a social environment. I want you to bring all the distractions in non-healthy societies in your mind right now that are threatening us and our children right now, okay? So healthy society, which provide the situation for the residents to reach salvation and practice.
In reality or on paper?
In reality. Can you find it?
No.
Can someone find it, please? I need the answer. I'm getting somewhere very important. Do we find this society?
We haven't had that society yet.
We haven't that society. But is it a joke or that's the reality? So Allah wants us to be in a society, Medina Fadila, Utopia, right? In a society that we all can practice to reach that salvation for us, right? If so far we didn't have it, we know Allah created us to reach that. Where is it then? We are missing the most important purpose of our life. We're just playing around until He comes. We don't even have social justice in this life. It's all definitions that we have. Yes, to have enough food for everyone, so everyone would have a job. So inshallah, 60 years old, 70 years old, 90 years old, Khuda Hafiz al-Tamasida, we have to pass away. That's it. That's the whole purpose of creation, is that me and you live and have a good car and nice everything. And we're very good people as well. That's it. That's not the ultimate reason. Imagine they build a very professional hospital, right? But the students, they just, what did you learn? Some general knowledge about, mashallah, medicines and stuff. That's it? You're supposed to be the most professional doctors in this world. You just learn something about medicines? That's not enough. Where is this society? We're all faqir and in need. We have to feel this pain that society, where is it? Until He comes. Me and you sit down, what are you? Yeah, it will be better. So we have everything. Look, I asked the youth in the boys camp the other week, it was very good, mashallah. I said, so we have our car, we have our house, we have our centers, mashallah, we pray with jama'ah, we have our Maulana, so what else do we need? So Imam Mahdi is going to come to say what? He's going to say the same ahkam that Maulana is saying, so we already have it. We don't feel pain. We don't understand that's not what we need necessarily. Imagine you're in an island, they give you some polluted water, you say, it's mashallah good, what else do you want? I have water to drink. This is not what you're supposed to drink. You're supposed to have access to the best of all things. You're just justifying it for yourself. We're living in a society that we're missing that justice. وَإِنْ دَعَمَهُ, someone says what? إِلَهِ عَظُمَ الْبَلَاءُ وَبَرِحَ وَانْكَشَفَ الْغِطَاءُ وَضَاقَتِ الْأَرْضُ وَمَلَتِ السَّمَاءُ. It's so tough for me, I cannot live in this world anymore. Look at this, the dua is telling us to say. There's nothing from the sky, this earth, there's no benefit for me anymore. What do you mean? They have food and everything. Imam, when he told us to say this dua, there was enough food, enough vegetables, enough, car and probably horses and camels, everything around. What do you need? What do you mean I cannot live in this society, in this world anymore? What is the purpose of living when he's not there? So, and I cannot reach salvation. Nothing is at its own place right now. We're out of justice because he is not among us. I mean, you know what I mean. He is among us, but technically, practically too. Why? Why am I saying it's not justice? Because originally it was not supposed to be this way. We're supposed to, each group of people, since the beginning of the world until today, each community, each people, they had the hujjat of Allah among them. Either a prophet or imam among them, right? After Saqifa, that happens that it goes all the way to this time of ghaibah that you don't have your imam with you. But this is not justice. Who created this injustice? Human beings. They had Isa, they had Musa, they had Nuh, they had Ibrahim, they had Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They had Amir al-Mu'minin, they had Imam Muslim, all the way come to 11th Imam, right? They didn't take care of that. Very unjustly, they martyred our Imam, and that's the problem that we have today. I want you to feel this pain and practice this pain. I want you to transfer this to your children. Something is wrong. Something is missing. Ummah of Bani Israel, when they felt this, when Quran says, when Pharaoh started killing their children and women and older ones and men, and they were executing left and right, then they started saying, Ya Allah, where is the Savior? Musa was in occultation. Musa was not there yet. The Savior was not there yet. Where is this? That's why then Pharaoh, he heard that the Savior is going to come. That's why he was killing the children and pregnant women, right? When they felt the pain, they are killing us, there's a problem here, they started crying and yelling and doing dua, where is our Savior? Then Allah forgave 150 years out of that time that was left. And they felt pain. Now that everything is good, the car is there, mashallah, as well, and we go to Hajj as well, what else do you want? Ziyarah is there, mashallah. What else? So Imam of Us is going to come and do ziyarah? No, Imam of Us is going to come as the last Baqiyatullah, the last Savior. He's going to come and bring this justice to you so you can practice to reach salvation. To be the best version of yourself that you can be. Not simple things. I have some general idea about medicine or about my nature.
If we die before that time, so we die unjust?
If you die before that time, you will be judged based on your own a'mal and action. Based on that, we have the hadith that أفضل الأعمال انتظار الفرج. The best of all a'mal is to be awaiting for the faraj. You will be judged based on that. So you will be judged based on if the Imam of Us was there. As when you look at Ashura, what will we be doing? And Allah knows your heart, right? If I was there at the time of Imam, I will support him, I will do this, and we cannot lie to Allah. You will be judged based on that, right? As we were not at the time of Amir al-Mu'minin, at the time of Rasulullah, but we wish if we were with Rasulullah, we would definitely support him in Badr. We would definitely support him in Uhud. You will be judged based on that. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, right? If you before that, then that's why even we have the dua ahd, that if you recite 40 days, you have the opportunity to come back to life even if you're dead to support Imam of Us, right? So that's what we want to say, and I'm going to put it this, we're going to continue this, it's not done yet. That now what can we do to provide the situation and to support the zuhur of Imam? We have to see what we have to do. It's not just, believe me, it's not just sitting down and saying some dua and night of Qadr or Amal Quran and let's go home, mashallah, we're all good to go. It's not like that, right? The people of Kufa, they had this much sign on their forehead, some of them. When Imam Hussein, they approached them, all betrayed Imam Hussein, right? It's about something else. It's about creating what I'm going to go to the more social justice in our community as Muslim community. What can we do to practice and to provide the situation for what? Inshallah, for this healthy society to have Imam of us among us, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma ajjal waliyaka al-faraj wal afiyata wal nas wa mudda fi umrihi al-sharif wa zayyin al-arda bitula baqa'ih. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, hasten in the zuhur of our Imam Mahdi. Give us tawfiq to be among the true followers of our Imam. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, let us be among the supporters of zuhur. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, help our youth, make them successful in dunya wal akhirah. Ya Allah, those who have hajat, give them all khair hajat. Those who passed away, send the tabab and reward out of our measures to their soul. Rahimallahu man yaqra'u al-Fatihata ma as-salawat.
Thank you.